Hello again. Let's get into the Instant Farmer chapter number 20. Sarah is not going to be sleeping over tonight. She needs to be up early tomorrow. She has plans with her family. Her family is expecting her in the morning and all day. Sarah is so close to her parents. She tells Ken that she will be telling her parents about him. They are so great together. She is proud of Ken and the way he treats her. So, Sarah needs to get dressed and leave soon. Ken is wondering how such an amazing woman is proud of him as her boyfriend. She has absolutely no idea that his life is about to change. Ken is a farmer now. He needs to embrace his new life. And he wants Sarah to be a big part of it. One last hug for the night, and Sarah is out of the door. A few minutes after Sarah leaves his apartment, Ken feels lonely. He misses her, and he knows it. This woman is special. Ken is special too. They're such a good couple. He needs to talk to somebody. He gives Greg a call. Greg says, "Hello." Ken says, "Hi Greg, how are you tonight?" Greg says, "Shouldn't you be with your girlfriend tonight?" Ken says, "She just left for the night. I want to talk to you." Greg says, "Okay, I miss you, buddy." Ken says, "I'm falling in love. I know that she is so special. We are so good together. What are you up to tonight?" "I don't want to be in my apartment right now." Greg says, "That sounds great. You are right, she is special. So happy for you." Ken says, "Do you have time for me tonight?" Greg says, "Yes, of course, we could hang out and chat. Do you feel like going to the bar down the road from you?" Ken says, "I know of a place. It is downtown. It will be pretty busy tonight. I would prefer to be in a crowd." Greg says, "Okay, that place sounds great. I will see you there in like 20 minutes." Ken hangs up the phone and quickly gets dressed. He secretly hopes that Greg will find a girlfriend tonight. Ken is ready to go out and meet his friend. Just before leaving his apartment, Ken goes into his kitchen and eats a handful of cherries. That fruit gives him the energy to make it through the night. After all, they might end up in a nightclub. Outside of the bar, Greg is waiting for a friend. He knows that Ken might be a little bit late. He is trying not to look nervous. He is people watching while he waits. There is a group of 4 women that is giggling when they look over at Greg. He starts to smile at them. They are urging him to come over and talk to them. So, he checks his watch once, twice, and 3 times, then starts to walk in their direction. Just before Greg makes his way to the women, Ken shows up. Perfect timing. Well, not quite. Ken says hello and Greg stops walking. Greg quietly explains that he wants to talk to the ladies now. Ken understands. So, Ken accompanies Greg over to the group of 4 women. The ladies say hello to the handsome men standing in front of them. Greg really likes one of the women. He says hi to her first. They start to chat. Ken suggests that they move the party into the bar. That sounds good. The bar has a large dance floor in the middle of the room. with a bar along the outside of the room. They will not be able to find a seat tonight, that is for sure. So, they stand together. Greg is chatting with one of the women in the group. He is currently being convinced to join her on the dance floor. That sounds like it could be fun. Ken is explaining to the three women in the group that he has found the love of his life. She is so amazing, and that he sees a grand future with her. That causes the women to say, "Ah." All together they say, "Ah." Ken has established himself as not available romantically, so he plays the friend card. He starts to talk very nicely about Greg. It is as if he wants his best friend to look good in their eyes. That sounds good. Greg is dancing the night away. He hasn't really been talking to this wonderful woman, but he did get her name. Laura is her name, and the two of them look great together. Their chemistry is incredible. When they are together, it is as if they are only people in the room. Time for a break from dancing. Greg and Laura exit the dance floor and enter the bar area. They are welcomed by hugs from the other women in the group. The girls are so happy for Laura, and Laura is very happy with Greg. Laura has a huge smile on her face as she turns her body to be face to face with Greg. She starts to hold his hand, and they start to kiss. It is the obvious next step. Laura wants to know if Ken wants to dance with one of her friends. Greg explains that Ken has a girlfriend, and that Ken will not be dancing tonight. She smiles at him. Laura grabs Greg's hand and leads him back onto the dance floor. That was a short break. That leaves Ken with the company of three beautiful ladies. He starts to chat about Greg. He tells them how great of a friend Greg is, and he hopes to find love one day. The night is almost over. Late Saturday has turned into early Sunday. Ken and the three ladies were drinking together all night. They seem to get along well, while Greg and Laura can't get enough of each other. The announcement comes on and says there will be one last song and then it is time to leave. So, for all the couples on the dance floor, the music man plays a slow song. This gives Greg a chance to be extra close to Laura. Greg and Laura make their way to where their friends are. Greg quickly tells Ken that he will be going to a hotel tonight with Laura. And Laura has the same message for her friends. So, the six of them exit the bar and find their way onto the street. Ken finds himself with the three ladies again. He is chatting about the weather while Greg and Laura find a cab to drive them to a hotel. Once Greg leaves, Ken says goodbye to the ladies and starts to walk home. That concludes this chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening. Again, if you want to read along with me, then you should pick up a copy of my ebook from Kindle. Goodbye, until the next chapter.